that they used this kind of threat timing tactic when they assassinated Martin Luther King on the anniversary of MLK's Riverside speech, officially coming out against the Vietnam War on April 4th in 1967.
Happy anniversary, right?
By 1990, Tupac Shakur decided to leave his new African Panther leadership to tour with the Grammy-nominated rap group Digital Underground. Here, Tupac's seen with Digital Underground on stage. He had already recorded an album's worth of songs in 1989, which a Digital Underground member found and produced in the late 1990s, titled The Lost Tapes. It included a song titled after his new African Panthers newspaper, insert Panther Power. The song's lyrics included lines such as, "Couldn't survive in this capitalistic government because it was meant to hold us back with ignorance. Drugs and sneak attacks in my community, they killed our unity." Here he had started writing songs with political terminology. He soon decided to keep political ideas in his lyrics, but gave up the terminology, apparently to not lose less educated fans. In 1990, Earth First environmental leader Judy Barry had launched the Redwood Summer Campaign to fight the destruction of the redwood forest from her San Francisco Bay Area office. Her successes had repercussions. A logging truck rammed into her car in 1989, nearly killing Barry and her kids. Someone had also nailed this picture of Barry playing a violin on her door, with rifle crosshairs over her, and dog feces on it. Researchers stated that this was a known U.S. intelligence warning tactic. In 1990, a bomb went off under her car seat. She was paralyzed and died within another 6 years. The FBI first investigated Judy Barry and a passenger in Barry's car, Darrell Cherney, were planning to use a bomb themselves. After much protest, the FBI said they were looking for the perpetrator. Barry, known as Queen of the Quip, began to realize the FBI's corrupt attacks on protesters. At a news conference, she told the press, "I hope the FBI find their man, and when they do, I hope they fire him." Barry and Earth First filed a lawsuit against FBI Area Chief Richard Held and key police leaders. The suit eventually gained enough powerful support that it forced Richard Held into an early retirement in 1993. In the years before Held's retirement, several key attacks occurred on Tupac Shakur as he broke into the music world, leading Tupac to say, "I never had a record until I made a record."
So real quick, we remember the Don't Eat the Juice being a man in South Central, right? We did the whole joke about the man, right? This guy was heavy at work from the early 1960s to almost the early 1990s. This Richard Held, this guy was getting everybody killed. So he was doing this for almost 30 years, and he got to retire. So I always ask, people talk about being goons all the time. So as long as people like this are chilling, that's why people say, "Why do you say that? Why do you break up?" Because they're not about that life. If you was about that life, then Zimmerman wouldn't be chilling, right? Like, you wouldn't be walking around the street. If everybody was such a goon, that's why I say what I say. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. Richard Held, he retired. Go find him. He done got like 50 people killed. Leaders, Fred Hampton and all that. He done tried to get Tupac. Like, if you ain't trying to beef with him, that's why I leave the door up and talk real loud.
As Tupac's fame and wealth increased, promising more power and money behind his radical political agenda, the complexity of the attacks on him increased. First, Tupac landed a solo record deal for Tupacalypse Now that resulted in a worldwide MTV video release in October of 1991. Within several days, Oakland police stopped Tupac for jaywalking. As described in these official legal claim pages, police banged his head into a curb and choked him unconscious.
Sound familiar, right?
News articles have reported at least 2 other cases where suspects have died in police hands from those same police actions. Tupac had already hired his New African People's Organization mentor, Watani Tayahimba, to work as his business manager. He hired NAPO National Chair Chokwe Lumumba to be his national legal consultant and to represent him on the police brutality case, in which he won a large settlement from the government. This funding of a national radical black organization's leadership gave the FBI even more reason to target Tupac. Within a year, Tupac had a debut lead role in the major motion picture Juice, which had its premiere in San Francisco. That night, Tupac experienced a drive-by shooting on his and his friend's limousine as they traveled from the movie theater to the after-party. The similar timing appears more than coincidental. More evidence of FBI supervisor Richard Hell's orchestration comes by way of witnesses catching plainclothes California police officers using an unmarked car to attempt a drive-by shooting of a police brutality witness in the 1990s. As Tupac's fame and fortunes rose, police attacks on the rap and film star increased. Tupac next starred in John Singleton's sophomore film, Poetic Justice, as the co-lead with Janet Jackson. Tupac's first CD, Tupacalypse Now, had gone gold, and his career was soaring. On August 22, 1992, the 3-year anniversary of Huey Newton's assassination.
What? Anniversary again. You know it's about to get bad, right? Okay. This is critical, right? Because people always say, you know, what's the point, right? What's the point? I'm sure somebody asked somebody in this class, why are you even taking the class with Tupac? We don't gotta get into that. What's the point of studying history? People even ask that. You know, STEM is where it's at. You're not doing business or, you know, medicine or pre-law. People look down on the humanities. I know they be hating because I've been there in the conversation. The point is, what's the operationalization potential? Like, how can you use it? What's the potential of understanding historical context in the contemporary context? Like, what can we do now? What can we look at now and be like, wow, is that how it goes down? Like, not just like staying in your house on the anniversary of a big day and stuff like that. But I'm saying, he said that there was a drive-by shooting organized by Richard Hell, right? That came out. Didn't get the information on Tupac. We said very similar how, you know, the thing he orchestrated looked like this thing, right? Right? Plus the music in context too. So when somebody says I'm paranoid, somebody trying to kill me, right? Like, now you listen to Tupac like, dang, you know, people driving by and choking me out, beating me up for jaywalking. Maybe I would develop some paranoia too. Maybe I would start self-medicating too. Maybe I would increase my alcohol consumption. You can sit up. Okay. So yeah, so you say, without this context, she's like, dude sounds crazy. Like you say, I'm going crazy, I can't sleep, I'm going crazy, I had a gun to my head, you know, I smoked a blunt and took the pain out. If it wasn't a high power chop, I'm going brains out. Lord, no, like why would somebody, you know, there's no relationship to reality. You just listen to music like, dude is weird, dude's, you know, dude's off, he's contradicting himself. But then you say, wow, he got choked out for jaywalking. That alone could change somebody's life. If you are a lawyer and you work in like civil defense, I think we watched the video of Michelle Alexander. Remember when she said she had her epiphany? All she did was see a story and have a testimony. Dude came in with an impassioned testimony about police corruption. She later discovered that such corruption existed in said department by news reporting, and her whole life changed, right? All she had to do was learn, wow, that was true, different path for me, right? Whole life trajectory is altered right now. Now think about a dude who was in that youth program. The first guy, stop and frisk situation, where his dad's a cop, he's in the youth program. You think he's going to be a cop? I doubt it. If he is, I'm scared of him. Because he's going to be the worst one out there. Right? So you got people like this, you know, like, what they would have been is altered after these events. Like and it's not even like altered, like he has no, the disenfranchisement is almost by default. I'm going to support this, because nobody's against it. So I'm saying stop first. Nobody is going out in the streets saying, stop doing this. When I say nobody, I'm saying, you know, the same people that were against stuff in the 60s. But when you get names like Shakur and Lumumba, he said Choker Lumumba he hired. If you're CIA, you FBI, this is a done deal. This ain't nothing to do with Suge Knight or Biggie Smalls. Like, don't be stupid. Lumumba and Shakur together? Oh no, oh no. You ever saw Belly when he's eating a banana? He said, he dropped real, we'll drop down on him. We gotta stop this. Like, this has to stop.
The most complex attack on Tupac occurred at the Marin Festival in the San Francisco Bay Area. Tupac came as an honorary guest. As Tupac signed autographs for kids, a man amongst a group of strangers ran up to Tupac and punched him for no reason. Tupac's road manager and Matilda Shakur's son, Maurice Mopreme Harding, blocked others in the group from attacking Tupac. Harding took a gun out and shot it straight towards the sky before he and Tupac took off running. Witnesses supported that at least one of the strangers fired his gun at Tupac, all in front of police, who failed to intervene or arrest the shooters. One of the bullets hit a boy nearby, but police only arrested Tupac and Harding, though they let them go with no charges when witnesses exonerated them. 3 months later, Vice President Dan Quayle denounced Tupac's debut CD in the nationally reported.
Okay. So you get choked out There's a drive-by on your entourage. You sign an autograph during a community event in the place you used to live. Somebody punches you in the face for no reason, and the witnesses say that there were shots fired at you, and you're the one that gets arrested, right? So you're like, the story's about to come out. You know, suing the police. You know, I'm doing community service, people are attacking me. They're gonna know. Just like they knew with all my heroes, right? Just like they knew, you know, maybe late, but I'm gonna get support. Camp 21 had some support. Dr. King had some support. Malcolm X had some support. They're gonna see that I'm in this line. Like he said, I ain't heard the family business. I'm the next one up. Everybody that got shot, look at me, I'm still trying to do it. Look how they coming at me. They shooting at me, choking me out, beating me up, they attacking me at community events. Y'all know y'all gonna ride for me, right? 3 months later, the vice president is talking about it. Oh, you talk about diversion. What they say? It was neutralization, it was discrediting, it was misdirection, right? And disinformation, right? So all this going on, and here they come with a big story, right? The story is his music. Remember we talked about the Geraldo Rivera situation? Something you got to miss you. They miss me with that. I see what that is. That is taking me off the path where I need to go. Matter of fact, the second you start talking like that, I say, okay, what do I need to find out about? Because there's only one reason they're talking to me. They're not talking to me to liberate and educate and inform and empower me. They're putting this story out because there's another story they don't want me to see. So the second you hear Dan Quayle say Tupac, just let me learn about this Tupac. Let me learn about this real Tupac. Because ain't no way Dan Quayle just happened to walk by and be like, yo, he talk crazy. What's that? What you playing here, brother? I'm just saying. How do you think it hit his desk? I would say classified memo that you might hear about in the next 15, 20 years. You need to address this. You think he just was doing some research on hip-hop in 1993? Like, it makes no sense, right? And to put it in his address to the entire world.
In speech. Tupac had finished his second CD, strictly for my NIGGAZ. His record label, Interscope, failed to release it. Tupac used this variation on the N-word as an acronym for Never Ignorant Getting Goals Accomplished in an attempt to reverse its negativity. Time Warner had a 25% stake in Interscope Records, and after Tupacalypse Now went gold, Time Warner bought another 25% share, gaining a dominant voice in the company. They then refused to release Tupac's second CD for another year.
So when Jay-Z says get rich and get back, to me that's the win-win. We see that constantly, right? You're doing something I don't like, you know, big bank, take little bank. I had 25%, I want 50-some%. And this thing ain't coming out. Right? So people, you know, they talk about playing the game. I encourage people, definitely, if you're located, like Dr. Science says, you're located in the proper historical and cultural context, then yes, achievement should be paramount. You should go get your paper. You should get all the money you can. Because once you see the way economics plays a part in oppression, money is going to be one of the most important things that go on in the oncoming war against oppression and exploitation. You should get money. Get the best job you can get as much money as you can. Because situations like this, you need independence. And this is before internet. This ain't like, F you, I got followers. You know, like Jay-Z said, praying my people bail out like Time Warner. Like, you know, they'll roll out on you. You'll be done. You just don't come out. No leaks, no nothing. You got to access to the master. This ain't Gucci Man just release mixtapes every few months because he feels like it. Staying relevant doing clubs. Like, different level, right?
As the largest media company in the world, both Time and Warner had a history of supporting Republican candidates and conservative causes. For example, Time Incorporated's Vice President, Charles Douglas Jackson, rotated back and forth as an architect for the CIA, heading their psychological warfare division for various presidents, and running Time magazine's empire.
Now come on, man. Now come on. Now that's the point. If I was in class, I'd be like, I don't believe it. I'm looking into it. And I want you to, because you're going to bring something to me that I don't even know. You're going to be like, yo, not only did I find that out, check this out, teacher. But yeah, come on, man.
What a director is some kind of psychological warfare. Yeah.
But when we go deeper into COINTELPRO historiography, the inception of these groups, these monitoring groups, just like you saw the slave patrols with the paddy rollers after you the slave back to watch the slaves, right? That's how they started the cops. The original cops were the 5-star badge, paddy rollers, slave patrol, and went out and said, you run away, we're going to come get you. So there's no, mystery why in every rap video you see some guys running, like the Roots said, you never do what they do, running from nothing, right?
Yes.
They run with nobody pursue, they say in religious circles. So yeah, so this whole issue of these people being these people, that's nothing new. That's like us being colonizers